Matt Lenihan Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store and Our Kings Competitions. Eddie, it's been a while. I can't remember the last time we caught up, but lots of news when we're here for Pat Brown today. How's things, first of all?
Yeah, things are great. I mean, obviously, a lot of effort been put into the announcement and the media day for Pat, because he's very important to us, to British boxing. And, a lot of people say, who's the next one I should look out for? I think this is the one. Very likeable, great pedigree, very exciting, huge puncher, massive support from the city, Olympian. And I think Pat Brown's going to be around British boxing for a long time, filling arenas and keeping you all excited.
I haven't seen an announcement teaser like this for a while for someone turning over. There was one poster and we're all like, is it Josh Taylor? What's going on? Then a second one and I'm like, Man United Stadium in the background, it must be Pat. Not from the days since AJ was announced and things like that. How excited are you that he's this next crop, this next cycle in Manchester especially?
I think, perception's key and you've got to make a big deal out of things. We're investing heavily in Pat Brown financially, but also with our time. And if you make that investment, you've got to build the star. And this is all part of how you build a star. No one does it better than us. He'll debut in March and he's going to have massive opportunity to do so. But, he's a man of the people. He's worked on the building sites here. He's been in the Moss Side Boxing Club for years. He's at Old Trafford. He's on the streets of Manchester. And he's a massive ticket seller as well. And he's really exciting to watch.
Look, breaking news just as I was about to prepare for this interview. Michael Benson put on Twitter, I know he's getting the credit, but he'll have got it from someone else. I haven't checked that yet. Bivol Beterbiev potentially in the makings for February 22nd alongside Daniel Dubois versus Joseph Parker. What can you tell us?
Yeah, I mean, there are and have been discussions with His Excellency for the rematch. Myself and Dmitry and Vadim Kornilov across negotiating. We'll let His Excellency make an official announcement if and when that gets signed and done. But there have been an approach regarding that fight for that date, but we'll see if it can get over the line.
So all roads do lead to that rematch, because obviously in a lot of quarters people believe Dmitry Bivol won that fight. If it isn't going to be a rematch, where's the pivot in this?
I mean, the pivot for both of them is I don't know. I mean, it's the only fight. The first fight was not just a great fight, but I mean, if you don't want to call it controversial, you can call it extremely competitive. I mean, for me, Dmitry won that fight and we need to try and put it right, but Beterbiev's a great fighter and I think the rematch would be an epic event.
I saw some of the clips from Texas, obviously, and your reaction went viral, etc. I know you've discussed it with everyone. What got me more was you're always quite animated when your fighters won, but it was more like you were trying to prove a point to someone who was sat there, because it was more of a, I don't want to say aggressive, but I just thought someone's been chirping up at you throughout this fight for you to react like that. Explain what happened once Katie Taylor had won, because I know your relationship with Katie, but there was a lot of emotion in that response.
I mean, firstly, we were the A side, but we were also the away fighter, and we were treated as such, which is fine. Like, you know what you're signing up for, but we've never really been that before. So whenever you get an away win, it's extra sweet, right? Obviously, there was stuff in the build-up, stuff at the weigh-in. I didn't feel like we were treated with the normal courtesy of a major fight promoter within the card. And during the fight, there was a lot said. Like, obviously, look, we're all emotional. I'm jumping up and down. Nakisa's jumping up and down. His family's jumping up and down. The MVP team are jumping up and around. And I felt there was a little bit of disrespect towards Katie Taylor. But again, it was said in the emotion and the moment of the fight. And when we got the decision, the celebration it wasn't like a nasty celebration. It was just to say, everything that you said, we done it, we showed you, and like I said to Nakisa and before, if I offended anyone, I apologise, but it was just all heart and emotion, and it's what it meant to me. Don't think for 1 second that if the decision went the other way, there wouldn't have been the same reaction to me and our team. So all's fair in love and war. No disrespect to anyone, just desperate to win. And that's what we love to do.
Nikita made comments after that with Ariel Helwani saying that obviously, regardless of the reaction, Matchroom's response wasn't to post about Katie Taylor, it was to push Sky Nicholson, and why would that fight be made with Amanda Serrano? We've seen frosty relationships before, but everyone's working together now, kind of thing. Why was that sort of the narrative that was pushed?
People said about our lack of social media activity around Katie Taylor. I've told everybody 100 times, and I'm very honest. Katie Taylor is a Matchroom fighter and a DAZN fighter. DAZN have invested millions and millions of dollars into Katie Taylor over the years, and she's been amazing for them. We had an agreement with DAZN that we would not be pushing or posting the Katie Taylor event and the Jake Paul event because we would be pushing our own events on DAZN. That's all. So, in terms of pushing a fight, a unification fight with Sky Nicholson, of course we're going to do that because she's a champion in her division and they want to fight her. So with regards to Katie, I posted immediately after the fight. It wasn't like a written contract, but it was an agreement between the two of us that, look, we will allow Katie Taylor to take this fight, but we would also appreciate that you don't push it and you push the DAZN content rather than a Netflix show. No problem, we won't post. I posted after, and Matchroom have obviously posted since the event, but that was the agreement we have with DAZN.
That explains a lot then, because from the outside looking in, nobody knows. And when Nakisa makes them comments, people are like, "What, really?"
Yeah, but also, the big comment was, why didn't they push the fight? Nakisa said to me, "You've been slagging off our fight non-stop." I said, "No, you asked me about it, right? How many times will you say, or the IFL, or whatever? What do you think about Jake Paul against Mike Tyson? What do you want me to say?" I said to Nakisa, "I'm not slagging off your event. I'm saying I don't like the fight. Am I not allowed to say that?" And since the event, what I've said, and I've said consistently, the job that Nakisa and Jake Paul did on that event was incredible. Like, it was groundbreaking. I didn't like the main event. I didn't like it when it was announced, and I didn't like to watch it. But look how many people tuned in, and the rumblings and the repercussions for the benefit of us and the sport through the viewership for Katie Taylor was great for boxing. So, you're not going to see me slagging off the event because the event was incredible. I just didn't like the fight. I don't want to see Mike Tyson in the ring. But 75 million or 80 million or 90 million did want to watch it, and they did. So, it's congratulations. But as I've addressed many times, we had an agreement not to promote the show, and that's what we did.
A couple more from me. Katie Taylor, what does she do next?
Whatever she wants to do.
Could she hang it up now?
I don't think so. But if she did, I wouldn't be mad about it. I think she's had an incredible run. I think she's been involved with so many. You look at the resume and the fights that she's given us. Unbelievable. So if she turned around tomorrow and went, "I'm done," then I would say, good. Well done. But off the back of there's only 2 fights really.
Chantel.
And Serrano 3. The trilogy for both. And maybe they both happen. But I think when you look at the viewership of Taylor Serrano 2, if we're smart and we work together, because we took that fight as the away fighter and all this kind of thing, and we're not looking to be difficult, and we're not saying we're 2-0 up, we run the show now. We're just saying collectively we could do something incredible for this trilogy. And all the money that Katie Taylor and Serrano have made pales into significance in terms of the potential for the trilogy. So hopefully we can keep it amicable and we can just do the right job for our clients. Because, look, I think we should be proud that we made that fight both ways after everything that's been said and everything that's happened. Do you know what I mean? Because, and that's a testament to probably MVP and Matchroom in terms of delivering for our fighters. Because it would have been easy for us to go, "Fuck you, no, I'm not working with you." Do you know? But we didn't do that. And I think if we do it again, we could create something very special.
Let's just, last one from me this weekend. Sonny Edwards, Galal Yafai. I don't want to say it's going under the radar. This fight, though, is an incredible fight to make. I want to ask you, what does a loss affect? Who does a loss affect more?
It's a big risk for Galal because it's early in his career. And obviously for Sonny to lose, I know he's losing to an Olympic gold medalist, but someone that has had not many pro fights, I've got to respect both fighters for taking the fights. These are the fights that we want to see. 2 great British fighters all in, risking it all. And, for me, that's exactly what you want to see. It's a great card in Birmingham. Should have close to 7,000 in there. Be an amazing atmosphere and a huge show this weekend in the DAZN.
Eddie, I appreciate it.